Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lips Reaction. I'm Lips. This is episode 5 of our Severance season 1 reaction journey, and what a reaction journey and a journey it has been. Episode 4 was dark, very dark indeed, and the ending of that was haunting. And I don't know if someone said this in the comments or if I read this somewhere else, but someone said that maybe not the purpose, but the fear, this comment kind of struck like a fear in my heart, because I think no matter what, I think Helly's living, and I think that because I saw the marketing for season 2, and I believe I saw Helly in that marketing. But what does stand out to me, what this comment kind of reflected on, was that she hung herself in the elevator because that is where her outie, that is like the only way essentially to get a message to her outie, because her outie could presumably wake up strangling to death. I don't think, especially because the elevator seems to, there's someone down there at the elevator, right? So like that security guard is going to be there. I don't know how long it takes to die from hanging. I think you can either die from asphyxiation or like a broken neck, but I don't know that that height was enough for a broken neck. I'll be curious to kind of see how that plays out. It is very dark, and I'm kind of digging the dark vibe of it. It's adding this layer of fear and hauntingness, and something that I think that this conversation that the show is having around office life, capitalism, work life, like cultish offices, and that all translates really well to me, and I don't really feel the need to like keep bringing up the fact that this is like making a conversation about that, because that was very apparent to me in episode 1. And I think it's because I've worked enough jobs that felt very cult-like. I've worked a very office-focused job that was very cult-like. They said like we're family, and the hours were really long. The pay wasn't enough. But I was young and I loved it. And there were like snacks and drinks and parties and things to manipulate you, you know. Of course, it wasn't Severance, but I think like those kinds of things, just I'm like, oh yeah, I know what they're trying to say there, because I've lived it. You know, I've lived it in 2 different jobs very specifically that I've had, that I would say, in both very different ways, but in also similar ways to like what Severance is saying. Yeah, you know, that conversation over and done for me because it already landed. You know what I mean? If something new kind of pops up in my brain, of course, like I'll talk about it, but someone mentioned something like I'll enjoy the show more if I realize that, and I was like, oh, the only reason why I'm not talking about it is because that conversation landed for me immediately. I don't need to sound like a broken record on that. What I'm like really digging into now, and what I think is like really getting me excited to watch these episodes, is I think we're really just starting to get into like the combined like relationships. Combined maybe is an odd word. Maybe we can just call it relationships, but like we've got Burt and Irving, Burt and Ernie, as I like to think of them. I want to see I see Mark taking, like, I see this kindness in his innie that seems sometimes at odds with his like strict management style, but I keep reflecting on this. I think his strict management style is truly coming from this place of fear, and like it seems like from that there was a conversation he had with PD that mentioned like that they had both kind of tried to fix things on the inside, that they've like gone to management about certain things and they kind of got in trouble for that. And then also Mark's relationship with the break room and him knowing kind of like the depths of it. I think he has seen some of maybe he's seen some of the most brutal sides of this office in this world, and so I think that fear runs a lot of what he does, and you see his heart kind of shining out, because I think he does care about Helly, and I think he is worried about Helly, but his innie is trying to do what he can with the position of power that he has, which is really just a facade of power, because we saw on his to-do list, it's really like a lot of his job is glorified janitor work, which we need people, like, that's not a bad job to have, right? Like, it's not a job that does not mean something, but he puts on this suit and tie and he goes into this office and he's supposed to be doing very important work, in his exact words, I'm pretty sure. And he spends his morning vacuuming, refilling soap, like doing all these things that like a secretary or a janitor would do. Again, not downplaying the importance of those roles in any sort of job, just making a note that the work that they do doesn't really match up with the seriousness of the environment sometimes. Of course, they sort their scary numbers, but that I don't quite know what that means yet. So as always, I have some notes on the previous episode. We have kind of already been talking about the previous episode, but to organize myself a little bit more, I'll read the rest of these notes and then we'll start episode 5. Okay, so one of the first things that I noted, and something that I'll be keeping an eye on, is like Keel's OG vision saw everyone working together. Irving said that, and I think that there have been a lot of things about the philosophy, and that is why I've kind of been focusing on a lot of the philosophy of like the ethos of the company, because that is truly gotta be the breadcrumbs they're giving us along the way, right? I've seen a lot of foreshadowing and mirroring, I think, with like the core 9 and with the like 4 ethos. And those are also like really, those make me go into these spirals, and I love that. Like, I love spiraling into the theme of this show. Like, this is really just, this is my kind of show. And I said it in the comments last week that I was so sad that I didn't get to watch this live with everyone, because I would have loved theorizing with you all moment to moment, episode to episode. But we've got it now, and you know, I still think that we're having a lot of fun in the conversations. Okay, so then to talk about optics and design, we had this whole moment with Burt and Irving, and they talked a lot about this painting called The Youthful Convalescence of Keir. And it's this photo of, I would assume, Keir sick in his bed. And this is some of the most manipulative language I've heard yet, which is crazy because there's a lot of manipulative language in this show. Let not weakness live in your veins. Cherished workers, drown it inside you. Rise up from your deathbed and sally forth, more perfect for the struggle. Rise up from your deathbed. That's a wild line. It's almost villainizing being sick or being weak. Like, and it's almost like it's putting a guilt on the reality that we get sick and weak sometimes in life. And that's really malicious, I've got to say, because I think for sure you can go through moments that bring you down and you can come out stronger. And you can have this moment on that side of things and be like, yeah, I made it through that. I'm stronger for that. Maybe not my body is stronger, but my mind is stronger. My resilience is stronger. But if someone is in this moment of being really sick and you're like, get up from your deathbed and go forth, you're going to be fine. It's almost like, oh, okay, well, that's okay. Capitalism is really driving you today, Keir. I guess all days. So I just made a note, and I've said this, I think it was like episode 2 where we had that moment with Irving in the painting. The art is definitely a tool for manipulation. I think everything is a tool for manipulation. I think at this point, I just assume that like every little thing in this show is thought about to like the nth degree, probably down to the outfits, down to the hair, down to the, well, I mean, I guess the outfits and the hair would be like personal, they're Audie's like personality living on the inside, right? But everything in the office, I should say, and the design, like the designs that kind of mimic each other, and this white sterile environment that we're in. Yeah. I did know that we're not supposed to make maps, but then I find it very interesting that Burt brought a map like right away. He had drawn a map, and no one said anything about not making maps then. And Irving, rule follower, didn't seem to care at all that there was a map. So I don't really know if it's something that like optics and design just has a different like rule book for that kind of thing, or if like, I don't imagine that it's an oversight. I just imagine it was kind of like I don't know. I'm just noting that because I thought that was weird. And that is all stemming up to this rule from Egan. Render not my creation in miniature. Okay. So they find the book last episode, and it's Mark's brother-in-law's book. And I should have known, and I think I knew on some level, but it is like crystal clear to me now that there is like your innie doesn't know anything about your personal life. And somebody made like really helped this attach for me, because there's a conversation about the breakfast when Helly is being onboarded and her Audi is having the conversation. And that is one of the questions that they ask her when she is now her innie. And she can't remember it. And so obviously also she couldn't remember her name, right? So they only know what they're told, which is leads for such an abuse of power. And it's kind of amazing that there's not more of an abuse of power than there is. There obviously is a large amount of abuse, but I do think that it is fascinating. They could really just tell them anything and their Audi would have no idea. But so there's this passage 31, page 110, which they say this like it's a freaking Bible verse, which I guess to these innies, like these words are their Bible. Be content in my words, and dally not in the scholastic pursuit of lesser men. Also, that's written like it's from the Bible. And then Irv brings up the fact that it sounds like it's a loyalty test, or that he bets it's a loyalty test, and then brings up this thing about spicy candy. And it's one of those things where in the moment he says it so normally. He says it like, of course it could just be a loyalty test, like the spicy candy, don't you remember? And it's when they drop lines like that like sit with me and haunt me, because they really are being treated like rats in a maze, rats in a cage, being tested, being manipulated, being kind of examined and whatnot. And the fact that there are loyalty tests and that they could be aware of them in the way that he said it so normally is just, it's haunting. The fact that the loyalty test is a normalized thing in their brains, that they would say it as if they're saying, yeah, remember when we had a pizza party? It's weird. Okay, and then I looked at so one of the ethos is wiles. There's one of the principles. One of the 9 principles is wiles, right? And I actually didn't know the definition for this word. And I wrote this down specifically because Harmony, when she was going over the 9 principles, she said that word twice. I think twice, maybe a third time. And the way that she said it pinged in my head. So I looked it up while I was editing episode 4. Devious or cunning stratagems employed in manipulating or persuading someone to do what one wants. So that being manipulation, essentially being an entire principle, is crazy. I don't know what I thought wiles was. I think I thought that wiles like a will, like a strong will is what I thought it was. No, cunning stratagems in manipulating is, yeah. So that says a lot about Harmony. Obviously, I think that sums her up to a T. And then no workplace should be repurposed for slumber is kind of a funny line that it said. Well, not really funny. I feel for Irv. It was kind of nice to see Irv and Burt, like Irv opening up to Burt. I'm so skeptical about Burt. I'm not convinced that Burt is severed at this moment. But also I think that the line from like the first or second episode that's like nothing down there is what it seems haunts me so much that I kind of second guess everything being told to me in the show. But I find it interesting. So there's like an old word and a new word. Again, very, very religious of it. It's very mimicky mirroring of religion. But Burt believes in the original words of Kier. And one of those original words was, "In your noblest thoughts, an epiphany shall be my voice, and you my mouth." Right. So anyway, and then we of course have the Destiny poem, and I'll end it here. I was really excited to go back and listen to what this Destiny poem was that was written by our brother-in-law, Mark's brother-in-law. And I find it very interesting that this comes from the brother-in-law who is someone we know on the outside and has no relation to Lumen. D, dreaming, the start of it all. E, energy, breaking down walls. S, stewardship of home and earth. T, terror, which gives us more worth. And specifically the T stands out for me because I wrote that kind of feels like Lumen propaganda, which is weird. I, eyes, observe us with love. N, newness, rains down from above. Why and why? That's a question we hadn't not ponder, for destiny, friend, shall deliver all yonder. Right. That book, they overshadowed that in such like kind of a creepy way, and it was very interesting, and I liked it. But it did scare me. It did haunt me. So now we go into episode 5 today. The episode is titled The Grim Barbarity of Optics and Design. I loved the darkness of episode 4. It haunted me. I had fully sat down anticipating to watch 2 episodes actually, which would have gone kind of against my normal structure of this. Today I only have time for 1, so I will only be doing 1. But my normal structure is I watch it, and then like within a day or 2 I edit it and I get it out and I take notes whilst I'm editing. So I'm essentially watching it twice, thinking about it, letting the first one set, being in the moment, and then whilst I'm editing, taking notes on some things that land for me or like look a little bit differently whilst I'm editing. We have this conversation and then we watch the next one. I really like that process, but I also really like this show, and I'm like hungry to keep going. So I'm at odds with myself, but I think because time is what it is. Well, and today we can only do 1. I think we'll try to continue that. We're getting really close to the end of season 1. I believe it's 9 episodes. So 5 episodes to go, including today's, and that means we are halfway through as of today, and I'm looking forward to that. There will be 2 episodes coming out on YouTube this week and on Patreon if you want the full-length reactions. So we will be doing episodes 5 and 6, and then possibly next week we'll do 3. But I'm not gonna promise that until I have a look at that schedule. But if I can make it work, if I can get out 3 edited episodes of Severance next week with everything else I have going on, I will. That is my promise to you. I will do my best because I would love to get season 1 finished next week. But that's all for today. Okay, like I said, if you want full-length reactions to this, you need your own copy to sync up and watch along. You head over to Patreon. Otherwise, I have edited it down for you on YouTube, and you can enjoy the adventure that way. Intro moment for more conversation about the previous episode. Outro for more conversations about what we just saw in the episode. And I'll see you in the reaction. Oh, her outie. I wonder why we only get to see Mark's outie. It gives us such an interesting perspective on him because we can correlate the innie versus the outie and look at the differences and whatnot. Where's the security guard? Well, the security guard was always there.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get out of here.
Sorry, I love the work.
He does. He doesn't love the work. He loves the rewards. Ooh, here he's running. Okay, so he's always watching.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Oh, she is limp. How do they even handle this? Like, from a standpoint of doctors and mental health and
Is she okay?
the like, with the severance of it all, how do they handle this?
Helly,
Get in the elevator!
Oh, he's not allowed to know. They're sending him home.
is she okay?
Wow. What an easy way for them to control the narrative. Because he's just gonna, his Audi will have no idea. Oh, Mark. Oh no, he's terrified. Oh, he's so worried. Oh, okay. Hi. He didn't do anything. Oh, well, I guess he's the boss, but don't you think he could notice his neighbor's car?
Helly's Audi has no intention of resigning.
But she almost died. I mean, she doesn't want to be here.
And she will be back at her desk in a few days.
That's so traumatic for any Helly.
This happened on your watch, Marcus.
That's a lot to
And
put
you
on
can
him.
thank
I don't think.
Kier himself it went the way it did.
Why?
Have a productive day.
Wait, why are we thanking Kier? Have a productive day is actually, I mean, it's actually low-key cool. Like a good saying. Have a productive day, but she said it like an evil boss.
What is it to fail? My failure to break into the literary world in my 20s was devastating. Yet it taught me a vital lesson. That it was not me who was wrong, but literature itself.
Oh, okay.
That to truly find my place in that world, I would first need to break it entirely.
Well, that is kind of true.
Is that machines cannot think for themselves.
Oh shit, like a severed person.
A good person will follow the rules. A great person will follow himself.
Okay.
The center of industry is dust.
Okay, wait. He's kind of eating with this.
Should you find yourself contorting to fit a system, stop and ask if it's truly you that must change or the system.
Okay, well that's going to awaken something deep in Mark.
Full synaptic coupling. Peter Kilmer's memory was reintegrated.
We knew. We've been
You were right,
knowing.
Harmony.
Yeah, she was. Is he
We
the
should
board?
celebrate.
We should. Okay, why did he say it? We should celebrate. Melon party, waffle
I figure
party.
you'll
What are we
take a beat
doing?
before telling the board, especially after what happened with Helly R.
Wait, so they
Jesus, you haven't told them.
are happy about the knowing for sure that reintegration can happen.
Please find out who did this. I'd like to deliver everything to the board at once.
Including the Helly situation? Or you just don't want to tell the board about Helly because you're also being micromanaged?
Shit.
All right, Mark, it's Ricken.
Sister's having her baby? Oh. Oh yeah, the doula.
Did you forget that I was going to be here?
Like, a little bit. Yeah,
Ricken is doing this thing where he cries over her.
sounds like Ricken.
Babe, I just don't want to be like my father.
No, baby. I think it's good you're getting it out now.
That seems exhausting for someone trying to give birth.
Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I didn't know if they were going to wake you up from work or whatever.
Wake you up.
Cozy nook. Wow.
Dude, did you see the one next door?
Yeah.
It's like psychotically expensive. I hate whoever's in there.
It's just fat cats making fat kittens.
Fat cats making fat kittens? What?
The fetus is drawn to clear air. Purging secrets can create a soul void that speeds the labor. It's fine, I'll start. I love you, and I feel hurt that you haven't called me to thank me for the book yet.
Finally.
The book?
We left a copy of his new book on your doorstep.
He hasn't gotten it.
Definitely haven't seen that. I mean, it must have been stolen or something.
What? That was an advanced copy. Oh my god.
Oh, Ricken. Oh, no. I'm glad we finally got that out, though.
Okay, I'm okay. You okay?
Okay.
Ricken, you are not the one having a baby here. Pull it together.
Yeah, I'm going to go get coffee. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay, be careful.
Someone should go with her. She could fall, maybe. I don't know.
Mark, would you help me hang the kelp?
Oh, why are we hanging kelp?
Do you really want me to explain it?
I do, yes. I want to know what's going on inside your head, buddy. Because you were actually spitting some lines in that book.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm another pregnant lady, and I got distracted by your beautiful coffee, and I was wondering if there's any chance you could hook me up.
That is so odd. I'll be so honest.
My husband is driving me fucking crazy. My brother's depressing me.
Is it your first? May 3rd.
She
Meeting him, William.
I'm so fucking scared of ruining one child. How do you handle it?
A lot of help, I guess.
Yes, because you can afford it.
Hey, Rich.
Okay, Devin. This is getting weird. She is also a pregnant lady trying to give birth, and you like bringing a weird vibe into her space.
If the thief reads the book, it will have been worth it. In fact, I bet you he turns himself in afterward.
Turns himself in. Okay, well, hey, listen. The book is in Mark's hands, just any Mark.
I know the last time you were in a medical facility was for Gemma. Of course, the baby's middle name could have been so lovely a tribute to her.
Your kid deserves her own name without some big, feely baggage.
Hey, and I think that's actually really healthy of Mark. I agree with that. There was something very sterile about that lady at the other house, like almost severed like.
I made friends with the richest lady in baby camp. She was quiet, but she was nice.
Quiet, the way she said that, she was
Send
quiet.
you up there.
I'd imagine she's spoken for.
You know, that's a good sister, though. Mark
You
is a
may tell a
sweetie.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me your dark shit.
Tell her about PD.
I kind of think Lumen might be up to something.
Oh, he went there.
Like with your paychecks?
No, I've just been hearing stuff.
Okay, well,
have you
why
been
be you so
talking to?
cryptic about it? No, wait, now I'm getting scared. She said, who have you been talking to? No, don't tell her anything. Now I don't trust anyone.
Do you remember the businessman?
Oh!
Oh, no. Damn it, Rick. Go back to sleep.
Why do people do this?
I'll go get Alexa.
Don't touch me, baby.
Okay.
No, I think I'd rather give birth in a hospital. I don't know. We should answer that phone. Poor Outie Mark. You think he's worried about his innie at all? He hasn't said so. Oh, seeing PD fall.
She was in Audi form at the time she woke up, so this will be Helly's first conscious experience since the hanging.
Okay.
It's important your eyes be kind.
Okay.
Do you know how to make your eyes kind?
The fuck? To be fair, does he? He has a very haunted look to him. That guy has, the babysitter has kind eyes. No, he's so bad at it. Mark, you have a kind heart though. I see it in you. I see it in you all the time. You are a dark, lost man. Oh no. Oh.
You're okay. You're
No,
okay.
she's not. Are his eyes kind there? I don't know that they are. Okay, nope. Oh god, nope, that's scary, Mark. Nope, Mark.
So they locked away the extension cords and other dangerous items.
Well, there's a bunch of forks right there, so did they?
You should be safe.
She doesn't want to be here.
And if you want to focus on looking for happy numbers for a while, that's fine.
Oh no, Helly's gonna keep losing it. But there has got to be some reason why her Audi continues to send her.
Do you want to talk about it?
Whoa, really, Mark? Mr. Rule Follower? Mr. We can't talk about the break room?
I'm here to observe Heliar.
Well, that is probably for the best.
Miss Cobell's orders. I'm to watch her for signs of sadness. Upon request, I can also perform a hug.
I hate how clinical she said all of that, but I get it. Also, yes, I would say that there are signs of sadness. Can you be fired from this job? But it's like you could revolt, right, and do nothing. But then that's all your innie ever knows.
If you're upset, you can request
A hug. I know. I'm good.
I wouldn't want a hug either. Uh-oh. Is he, is he having a moment too? Oh no. I feel bad for him. Have I said this thought yet? Is there like an expiration date by chance on any of the, on like the Severance stuff? Like the chip they put in you? Like, I would imagine that there's got to be some sort of psychosis. No, that's creepy.
We lose you again there, buddy?
Oh no.
Irv?
I have to go to O&D.
Right.
Something's come up,
Right. Are you allowed to just do that?
and I'd like to seek
Burt's counsel.
Okay, fine. Just make a copy of that map in case we have to come find you.
Well, that's against the rules for sure. What? What? What is this painting? Oh, that's Mark. Wait, this is them. Wait, is this supposed to be...
I'm sorry, Irving. We must have sent this print job here by mistake. You weren't supposed to see this.
What are these?
Oh no, he was supposed to see it.
A joke for Miss Cobell.
That's because that's the rumor about optics and design, is that they ate the bowels.
Did that actually happen?
See, they're watching everything.
Nothing like that could happen here.
So, okay, so then it definitely did happen. It definitely did happen. It definitely did happen.
It is ironclad proof. Milchek says it didn't happen. And why would one department physically attack another?
Wait.
Because with 7 people, there is a lot that they could do to us.
There's no way.
Your new friend who lied to you about the size of his department?
Maybe the numbers they are supposed to give are not related at all to the organizing of the scary numbers. Because I feel like they are pushing, like that manipulation effort is some sort of weird mental test that he's just given.
You ran a 266 on Irving B.
What the hell is a 266?
I thought it might dissuade him from spending so much time with Burt G.
Okay, so it's just to dissuade him, not a test.
Sorry, should I have consulted you?
No. Good initiative.
I saw Miss Casey down there. You're having her watch Helly and Mark.
And Mark, isn't she?
May I ask why?
The light of discovery shines truer upon a virgin meadow than a beaten path.
The light of discovery shines truer on a virgin meadow than a beaten path. What? I'm gonna need...
trying something new with Miss Casey.
Oh.
Keep it between us.
Okay. Okay, creeper. Creepy. Creep. It is interesting that she's able to just hire out Miss Casey for the entire day.
Helly and Mark.
Hi, Miss Casey.
Please describe for me your time in the restroom.
Invasive.
Oh, no.
That was nice of Mark.
That's
What?
okay. I can watch Helly while you're gone. It's only a few minutes, right?
Distribution supplies 8 minutes.
Why do you know that like it's a drive? Also, that's a long walk. I mean, I guess 4 minutes each way. Then we'll all go.
You know, I got a distribution supply all the time, so I could, if you...
Well, that's
Okay.
one less horrible thing.
I guess it worked. Thank you, Mark.
Helly, I just realized I haven't shown you where we keep the extra pen caps.
I'm good, thanks.
No, you're right. We shouldn't go anywhere without Miss Casey.
Come on. He's trying to...
Careful out there, boss.
He's trying to...
Weird energy about.
Help her. What is Burt mumbling to himself?
Petey's map.
I thought maybe if we work on it together, we can...
A shared
I'm
project?
not your new Petey.
Oh, I see what he was trying to do. He's trying to give her
Helly.
something to focus on, something to... Ooh, the way they're... What are they doing with the lights here?
Mark took her to look at pen caps.
Where? Burt G is in the conference room.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing here? I was turned around.
No, you weren't.
I was looking for you. I hadn't heard from you.
Ask him. Ask him everything you want to know. What the frick? Oh, because...
I need a manager!
Irving, wait, don't go!
We need a manager! Irving! We need a manager!
Irving!
Okay, so they are watching everything.
Helly?
So, I mean, we knew that, but I feel like the people think that they have like little places where they can be secret. They don't. Everything is calculated.
I told her I wanted out and she told me I wasn't a person. My own self told me that.
Yeah, and that's horrible, but don't focus on her. What do you want? In here.
It's the only thing you can do. You can't, if all that you know is the
I
inside.
to wake up while the life drains out of her and to know it was me who did it.
Well, but that's not gonna happen, I don't think. What was that? What?
Why not come right to the office?
I didn't know why you hadn't been back, and I didn't want to scare you again, like with the hand thing.
Oh.
I was working on a joke.
I believe that.
Tell it. I hadn't worked it out yet.
Okay, we'll try it. Hit me with it.
Why did you lie about the number of people in your department?
We don't trust you guys.
You, the king of fucks, don't trust us?
I do. Stupid old stories, jokes even.
What do you mean?
What?
It's literally silly. Like they say, you all have pouches.
So each department...
You each have a larval offspring that will jump out and attack if we get too close.
That's funny. That is. So each department has been fed like a fear about other departments. Or at least, are these the only two departments?
The larva eventually eats and replaces you.
That is a wild theory.
Irving would solve the mystery. Your youthful energy.
Oh my goodness. How did you turn that into a flirt? That's, you know what? That's the best riz I've ever seen. That is so good. That was so good.
Are you sweet on this guy?
Yeah. What about it?
You disapprove? I do.
Of course he does.
I do disapprove.
He's fed into all the bullshit lies.
To other employees?
Rat fuck the handbook. This guy's Owen goddamn D who are duplicitous snakes to a one. It's not safe.
This is weird. Where are they? A baby goat? Hello?
They're not ready.
For what?
You can't take them yet. They're not ready.
For what?
But get the hell out of here. Go!
Okay. Well, that, you know what? That's one of the weirdest things we've seen in this show.
Would you like to come in? There is something in the storeroom I'd like to show you.
I would like to see it. Please, can we go?
And Dylan, of course.
Finally. Come on, Dylan. This will get me to remember your name.
Of Kier and Imogen.
Ooh, oh, of course.
My handbook just says they were bonded by the spirit of industry, took heart to each other as colleagues.
Which means you guys that... Whoa, wait, that's the Grim Barbarities of Optics, and that's the painting. Irving said it wasn't there.
Dylan!
He claims he doesn't know about this painting. Meanwhile, it's sitting right there on his shelf.
It's not the same. That's not O&D, Dylan. It's us.
What's it
It's called
called?
the Macro Data Refinement Calamity.
What?
Anything like that. Why the hell would there be two versions of the same painting?
Manipulation. Why they both exist is a great question.
Are the numbers? Like we're deciding which goats live and which ones.
What if?
I know you don't want to be here, but I'm glad you are.
Mark is trying everything he can.
If you give me the map, I'll clean it up.
Helly's leaning in.
You're both unhurt.
We are.
What would have hurt them?
I'm glad. I was scared.
Why? What do you know that we don't?
I forgive you.
She is so creepy. I can't get over the fact that they see everything that we do.
You aware what MDR is up to right now?
I thought that's what you were paid for.
Oh, wow.
You're not stopping it.
Yeah, why not?
The surest way to tame a prisoner is to let him believe he's free.
There's a Kier quote for everything.
There's a Kier quote for everything.
I would be careful. Upstairs wouldn't look kindly on this.
Yes, Daddy.
Wait, what?
You can talk to me when you figure out who hacked Kilmer's chip.
Yes, Daddy was wild. There's a Kier quote for everything. Love that line. It does feel like that is so true. Okay.
I want to introduce you all to Irving and Dylan.
So they have 8 people. They're gonna heal the departments, but then I think more people communicating is bad for the higher ups. I feel like there's a lot going on with this one. There's a lot going on with the manipulation is getting very layered and very intriguing and very interesting. And I have so many questions about it, right? I have questions about the logistics of being able to bring in the wellness woman. How can she, how is there no one else? Like, how did we essentially rent her for the day? You know? Are there other wellness people? She's the only one we've seen. Is it a wellness person per department so that they can do things like that? Or is my theory correct that there's just no one else severed and we're the only ones? But then it's like there's 8 people in optics and design. So now I'm thinking that's definitely not true. That is a fully severed department as well, which makes sense why they both have been told these stories about the other department and fed lies about each other. But why Harmony, Miss Corbell, is letting them run free right now? I mean, I get it. Because she's like, she called them prisoners, which is wild. She calls them prisoners. And then she's like, the best way to let a prisoner like calm down is to let them think that they're free. Okay, so I get that. The goats, I don't have any theories about the goats right now. I think the number theory is fascinating. I don't think that's what it is. I don't know. I think there's, part of me is like, maybe Lumen is everyone's doing one, maybe every department is doing one little thing that ladders up to this big thing. But then I just truly can't get over the idea that like everything is a facade and that it's all just a test to see what elements you can change to get someone to do something for you. Like how, like what are the best ways to manipulate someone? What are the environments you need to put someone in to get them to perform the best? Or like, I don't know, everything seems like a test. Like even they called it like a 266 that they did on Irving, and the babysitter had done that so that he would be less inclined to hang out with Burt. But I don't know, I'm just so I wouldn't say I'm at a loss. I'm not at a loss. I'm intrigued. I'm perplexed. I definitely wish I had time to watch the next episode right now, because I do think there's definitely stuff that will like pop out to me while I'm editing this one. But gosh, I'm so ready to watch these last 4 episodes and like be fully in the know of what's happening. But I like the way that it's unfolding. I was going to say, I wish I had more answers, but I think the mystery and the like hauntingness of it is what makes it so good. Yeah, but I have no concept of any idea what's going on with the goats. I think we're getting into this really beautiful area of like the intertwined relationships. We've got like Mark reaching out to Helly. We have Irving and Dylan befriending Burt. We have Burt opening up to us, and that, I think the reason why they have to be split is because they're both being fed lies that contradict each other. So them finding out that they're being told lies is going to open a can of worms. It's similar to with the break room thing where Dylan was saying he hears like a baby and Helly hears an angry man. I think subconsciously they know what like their fears are or something, and they're using that against them. Or they're hearing other things from around the office, like maybe the walls aren't thick enough and Dylan is hearing like a crying goat, but I don't know. I think the amount that they are being followed and watched is very obvious to us. I'm imagining that it's not at all obvious to them. Like to our 4 people and O&D as well. Now, I am extra curious to know what O&D is doing, or if they know what they're doing. Because they have a front. But then they're doing something like shredding a bunch of shit in the back, it seems like, which is fascinating. The plot thickens. I'm trying to think. I didn't take notes this episode because I wanted to be more in the moment with it. And I think that the notes work really well for like coming to the next episode with thoughts. I do have a like, I think the darkness of the show, at least the last 2 episodes, has been really, it's been enjoyable in like a sick and twisted way. Well, not in a sick and twisted way. I like the darkness of it in a appreciation for the like seriousness. I think on the basis you could look at this show as like a kind of comedic way of talking about office and corporate life. in today's day and age, but I think there is this very serious element and like this other almost like Black Mirror-esque type topic going on of like, would it be like if you severed half of yourself and your work self didn't know anything about your outside life self? And are you able to find fulfillment? And if you do separate that, how do you find fulfillment as your innie? Because your innie only ever works. So how do you find that fulfillment, especially when you're in such a structured and like manipulative cult-like environment? And I think that aspect is really fascinating because like Helly could, she could decide to just sit there. Like if they won't fire her and her Audi makes her keep going in, because again, I think Helly's Audi knows more than maybe of the other Audi. It's like, I wonder if we'll ever get to like have as much time with their Audis as we get with Mark, because I think Mark's Audi is there for his reasons. I don't know anything about anyone else, but Helly's Audi feels like bigger with her. It feels like she is like a scientist herself, and she's like, I don't know, she seems very important and whatnot, because I know she made that threat saying like, if you cut off my fingers, I will make you stay there forever and that will be your torture, like you are not a person. That is really a horrific thing to hear. Helly is a person, and we know them as a person. And then there's a subject of like othering people, right? Like to other yourself is crazy, but it is what Audi Helly is doing to any Helly. But I like that Mark is like, what are your goals here? Because I do think that's important. Find like this resilience within them and finding the things that motivate them. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that like mental side of things, because I think this is it's very dark, but it is very, it's layered in a lot of ways. It's like, can you find happiness in a job that sucks your soul out of you? Can you be happy in a corporate world like that? Like, I think there's a lot of layers, and I think that specific thing is gonna find you on whatever layer of life it hits you with. That's not gonna, I don't think, read the same for everyone. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts. I definitely think I'm gonna keep the pace that I'm going with this, and because I really like watching and editing it and taking notes and coming back in the next episode. I think those conversations I have at the beginning of the episodes I think they're like maybe a little more fleshed out and organized in a different way, and this is just kind of like feelings, vibes, initial punch to the gut, if that makes sense. So yeah, okay, I'll see you in episode 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.